Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hi, welcome to All the HP. I'm Handsome Pat, and we are doing Nerd Rumble, a show where we watch three pop culture experts duke it out for your entertainment. Experts. I use that word loosely.
I'll take it.
So, essentially, what this is, it's a debate talk show where we watch I'll ask a question, but pop culture, and each one of our contestants will argue their point. We have 3 questions. But before we get into that, let's introduce our contestants for the day. We have the ever so wonderful Sir Dave.
Regal, if you believe that. Thank you very much, Handsome Pat.
We have the ever so talented Harry the Talent.
I lost the first episode. It was great.
He's really down because I won. Me. And we have our guest,
Yes!
Edward.
Hey!
How are you? I should
Alright,
probably introduce
good.
you. You're the he is the host of Freaking Geeks, which is an upcoming pop culture talk show, and we thought it'd be good to
Try my hand at it.
Try my hand at it. It'd be good.
By throwing him in at the deep end.
Right at the deep end. So let's get started on round 1, I guess. So round 1 begins. What exactly is going to happen is I will ask a question. Each of our contestants will bring up their answer. Once they're done, we'll have a rebuttal and a final statement. So the first question is, I had to ask because I couldn't write it down. What is the best sports movie? Because we all love a good sports movie, right? You know,
We're all competitors at heart, aren't we?
We are. We all want to rip each other's throats out in this.
Let me just check my notes.
So Dave, we'll begin with you.
Okay, so best sports film, the first thing that came to my mind straight away would have to be Rocky, the 1976 classic sports epic. We're talking about best film here. I mean, it was the highest grossing movie of 1976. Sylvester Stallone's writing led to create 5 more sequels, and yeah, it won the Academy Award for Best Film. I think that's enough best in my argument to really just get it upon. So yeah, I choose Sylvester Stallone's Rocky.
Very
Do
sure.
you want me to elaborate?
It's not time for that yet.
Yeah.
Next round. Okay.
Harry the Talent. I didn't introduce you, but go ahead.
You did actually. I personally think the best sports film ever, Space Jam. Space Jam. Now, it's a great movie. It's, fun-hearted. It had Michael Jordan in his peak. It had fucking Looney Tunes in their peak. A big cross meshed together with ultimate risk to save the universe in a basketball game. There's no other movie with the risk that high. Come on, that's mine.
Wasn't it the end of the world if they lost or something?
Yeah, they would take over the world. The aliens would take over the world. So,
No, didn't they just take over Looney Tunes?
Yeah, the Looney Tunes were on slavery.
Looney Tunes were a part of the world.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Easy, guys. Easy. Edward.
I'm actually not a sports fan as much. So this was interesting, but one that jumped out to mind was A League of Their Own. Because even though I'm not a sports person, that movie can get non-sport people into it, and the story in itself is, to me, it's just epic. So, yeah, that was my choice.
Can I argue his point? Because that's fantastic. That's a good sentimental.
So he pretty much just gave his point.
No.
Yeah, so he's out. And
Alright,
yeah, that's
alright, cool.
Are we going to stop it?
Oh no, okay.
Okay. Let's go back to Sir Dave. Your rebuttal.
All right, yeah. So obviously Rocky. As I said, one of the best sports films. It was the legacy. It is the underdog story of America and the rags to riches story. It pretty much has created the template for sports movies. It defined the monologue. The montage.
Can I quickly interrupt you there, Dave?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. The underdog story. What sports movie isn't an underdog story?
That's correct. Yes, but Rocky was the one who did it best and early. It's there wasn't that many sports movies before that. It was all cliche sports movies about competition.
But just because you did it first doesn't mean you did it the best.
That's true. It's people have taken that formula to this, but it is the best. It's the template. It's
I think
it
we
has
all
a
can
legacy
agree.
in film and cinema.
I think we can all agree that there's no bigger underdog than cartoon animals going up against mutated aliens.
What were they called? What were those mutated aliens called?
That was called the Monstars. Alright? That's what they were called, and that's what they were.
All right, well, if you're going to interrupt
Okay.
me, I'm going to get straight into this. One, for a start, Looney Tunes was not at their peak. The peak was the 50s, right? Everyone grew up on the reruns of the Looney Tunes and stuff.
right.
And all
They were
that. They tried
better
rid of
than
them.
the 50s.
It wasn't even Michael Jordan in his peak. He'd just done his baseball career and was failing at that. And his gambling problems, he needed a cash grab.
He was still relevant.
No, there was no gambling in that movie, actually.
No.
It's a Michael Jordan, because but there was no gambling thing. The baseball thing, yes, because my movie has baseball. So, just saying, best sport.
But in saying that, he was still very relevant.
He was relevant to the kids knew who he was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway.
are you,
Yeah, no, I'm done. Yeah,
we're gonna wrap you up. Now you.
Okay, well, hold on a second.
I gotta read my notes. You know,
I forgot what I was arguing. It's got a sick theme song. Come on and slam, get ready for the jam or whatever. That was great. Now, this movie, I know for myself and a lot of other younger people who saw it, it made a whole generation interested in sport. It was an interesting movie. It was, like I said, it was lighthearted for children, but it's also for all ages. It's a nice, just lighthearted movie for anybody to enjoy.
But
And
can I interject? Because I'm going
You
to
can,
anyway.
you're allowed.
But was it so lighthearted it took away from the sport? Because was it really about the game? The Looney Tunes made it Looney Tunes, so it wasn't really. You had the competition, but it wasn't really playing by normal sport rules.
Yeah, is it more
So
of
it
a kids'
wasn't
film than
real
it is a sports
sport
film?
movie.
Well, in my personal
Thanks, yo.
experience, after watching that, beforehand I wasn't interested in basketball at all. Afterwards, I went and started playing
See,
basketball.
I was interested in basketball before that movie came out, and yeah, it was cool.
That
It
movie
came
made
out
me
as
want
a
to be
star.
Looney Tunes.
So, yeah, it's like in Looney Tunes. But as I said, the music's fine. It was one of the first soundtracks I ever bought, the Space Jam soundtrack. But that is not the epitome of the best film.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna agree to that point because at least his soundtrack goes to his movie. Your soundtrack doesn't go to your movie.
Overall, on the broad spectrum, I think it appeals to more people than just niche sport movies.
I think all our soundtracks are really worthwhile. My musical score, the Rocky theme, it uses a motivational theme.
Yeah.
Madonna in your movie,
Madonna
used to be in the playground. That's just beautiful and stuff. And
Plus, the
yours
girls
was
had their
just
own little
90s
theme song.
R&B in a PG environment. The fact that they made Busta Rhymes and Method Man not swear in a rap about the Monstars was an achievement in a sense. But yeah.
You go.
My one now? Alright, so, I was going to bring up the Madonna song, because it was good.
Madonna.
But,
I
as
understand I
well,
like your film, so
they had their little rhyme that they did during their own little movie, which then they brought to at an end when they were all 50, 60, whatever age they were, so it brought the emotion to it. Because that's one yours don't have, no offense. Yours has a little bit of emotion, mine has more. Mine is the first American baseball game.
Can I interrupt you there?
No, because
That's it. That's what I mean. What sports movie don't have that emotion underdog story?
Space Jam didn't have emotions in it.
It was different. It was fun. It was lighthearted. And
But
you can watch it whenever.
here's the difference
You don't
between
have to
mine and
feel
his.
bad after watching it.
But here's the difference between mine and his, right? His was about the one guy, right? Doing the one guy sport. Mine is about all girls during a wartime showing America, hey, our sports can
Mine's
still
about a diverse team of girls and guys and different creatures all coming together.
It's Looney Tunes. You're trying to say that Looney Tunes sports were better than an all-female American group.
Yeah.
That's, making baseball and sport were still relevant during the war.
They're diverse.
That was your point, not his.
No, that's mine. Yeah. I'm going to continue to mine.
I've finished. What I'm talking about.
Mine was an underdog story of a love story, the lovable dark hero was only good at the working class man who wasn't good at anything, who only knew how to fight, and he was going to, if given an opportunity during the late 70s when they were going through an oil crisis and a financial
and he lost.
Yours is one.
What
mine
a
is two.
downer.
Rocky united a whole town of Philadelphia. It's an underdog story.
Mine united the country.
And he lost. Sure, he united them, but they all probably bet on him to win.
What happened to the Women's Baseball League after?
Hold on. Even on that run, at the end of my movie, there's still a debate to this day on whether the last game between the two sisters, which the rivalry set up from the start, was actually thrown or not. Because the older sister let go of the ball, which made the younger sister win. But some are saying that she did that because her younger sister was always not in the spotlight.
Okay,
So the rivalry on my movie, which rivalry is a sport thing anyway, still continues on.
Okay. Your guy lost.
No, he
Your guy
died.
threw him.
He became a better...
No, I have two.
Your team won by default cheating thrown game.
For my other team to
Now
win.
the Looney Tunes beat mutated monster aliens with their own ability.
Yeah, of being illogical because you're cartoons.
So?
So that's not how you win a sport.
He went 12 rounds with the champ.
The question is, what is the best real life sports movie. Just what is the best sports movie?
Yeah, and mine is.
Mine is categorically the best film.
Yours is character, mine is history, yours is Looney Tunes.
Mine's Looney Tunes. They're the best team.
At least they won.
One right. Being Looney Tunes in a sport,
They saved,
not changing the demographic of
saved
sport,
their life.
not keeping it alive during wartime. Like,
Saved their life. Their
what?
lives were on the line.
Yeah, so they had to cheat and get the best player in the world for their sport to come and join.
He didn't have superpowers like the rest of them.
He's Michael Jordan. Of course he has superpowers when it comes to basketball.
No superpowers.
Yes, he does. He's Michael Jordan. And you can't have a superpower where he like overstretches his arm at the end. Yeah, so that's not superpower.
But
yeah, that's
in
right.
saying that,
Yeah.
the team they were versing had superpowers.
What was the final score, Pat? Harry?
Can't remember.
So I assume we have all already set our final points?
No. We're going to go final statements.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're pretty good.
Why are we going to lie? Okay, my screenplay was nominated for 78th best screenplay of all time. All right, it is transcended pop culture.
That
The
comes
music
straight after
score is
77.
pretty much used in every actual sports team's like prep up for either a fight or a match or a game. And also, there is an actual Rocky statue in Philadelphia. That's how big the film is. They still have the bronze statue of Rocky Balboa on the steps of the Museum of Art in Philadelphia. The famous steps that he ran off, that everyone's parodied. Simpsons has parodied it. It's
So we don't
iconic.
parody.
It is iconic. It is an American icon. It's universally loved.
They parody a part in the movie that's got nothing to do with the sport.
Yours is a great sentimental story and all that, but a lot of people haven't watched it. It's about a good time and a good team.
But see,
Very
once you
heartfelt
have
movie and
see,
stuff
as
and
a
all that.
sports movie,
As a
it
sports
gets people
film.
who don't watch it into it. And it's
So is
basically
Rocky.
the simplest of all.
Rocky's the best
No,
got into it.
because everyone's like, you have to watch it. It's the best movie.
It was a
ever. It's
$1
been
million.
done.
It was a $1 million budget movie that made 225 million at the box
Well,
office.
sports fans
Great
and
cast,
casual
too.
fans alike. Both
You're one
were-
guy.
We launched Sylvester Stallone.
So again, great cast. You're one guy. Great cast because you technically only have one guy because Bill Murray's cameo wasn't great.
Bill Murray,
Just saying.
Michael Jordan,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
the
it.
dude from Jurassic Park, Newman
That's
from
it.
Seinfeld.
You don't need an ensemble cast when you have rich, diverse characters.
You
just
do
like
to create
Rocky,
heart in a
his
sports
coach,
movie.
his cousin, all them.
You do to go on the journey
Adrian.
with the
It's
thing.
like
Okay, guys,
yeah.
we're gonna have to wrap it up. So
That was my wrap-up.
final statements.
That was our final statement. So
Our
this is the
final
result.
Closing
The
statement.
final closing statements. Quickly, point form, go. You
Best
say-
film, the Academy Award, one of the highest grossing sports films of all time, and recognised pretty much throughout the world that it is the best sports film ever.
Alright.
Fun for all ages. Anybody can get into it. Don't have to be a sports fan. It opened up basketball sport for a whole generation, and that's why I think it's the best sports.
Best sport film because you go on a journey with all these characters that history proves it is the best sports film of all time.
Shut up! You can't talk!
Don't go there.
Okay, this is so hard. This is really good. Okay, let's go.
Just a quick note, as opposed from last week. Sorry, guys. I want you to decide who gets a point first and explain why, because it was very.
No, I'm not going to say who does it. I'm
Okay,
going to go through
sorry.
all of you.
Just,
Okay, so-
okay. Because it was obvious who you're going to give the point to.
Okay, the Ren's
No. The way that I'm
You
going to do
always
it.
take them last.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go through all three of you first.
Okay.
Okay, so Dave, I like the points that you made. How much of an impact it's created throughout the years. It's a great sports film. It's a great film. You know, everyone to this day knows what Rocky is and its significant impact. Harry, I liked. Stop smiling.
I like the Looney Tunes.
I liked how you reached out to all age brackets, saying that this movie is a great movie for everyone. You know, it was a great heartfelt story. You know, the good guys won at the end, and the bad guys went back to Monster Land, whatever it's called.
Moron Mountain.
Moron Mountain.
They joined the Looney Tunes.
Exactly. Happy. Anyway. Sorry.
Okay, Edward. I also liked how you brought the aspect of the characters. You get to. I haven't seen the movie, but the way that you explain it, you
I've
go.
never seen Rocky, so
You grow with all of these characters that and at the end, you know, the whole debate about who actually won, was the Game of Thrones or not. It really gives a lot of perspective to it. But I still have to go with the most transcending film, Rocky.
Adrian, I did it.
I was
Because-
that's good. You're good now. You need your own celebration.
It is the quintessential sports film. The way he argued it, that it was the quintessential sports film to watch. And Space Jam is great. I'm sure League of Their Own is amazing.
It is. No, it is. He picked up great, but it's like, you know, it's probably like as good as like Remember the Time.
See, which one I didn't bring up, you know how you're like, oh, it's got trilogies? I'm like, mine doesn't need a trilogy.
Yeah, it's a
It was a Space Jam, you know, it was a great...
No, they're making new ones.
They're making a sport movie that comes to
LeBron.
Looney Tunes, and Looney Tunes is
King James.
Oh, there you go.
Alright.
Okay, so at the end of the round, Dave's got the point.
Yay!
And round 2. It was really hard picking these questions. You know,
Yeah, it's not easy, Patrick.
no, it's not. But we all love a good video game. We all love a good romance in general, you know? Like, even in movies, books, TV shows, a romance is always there, whether it's a side plot or the main plot. It is always there to keep the story going. But in this case, what is the best video game romance? I feel I need to put some clarification to this. They don't need to be a couple. They just have to show that they are interested in each other at some point in the video game.
Where was this clarification when you gave us the question?
I was going to say, I should have done the other one I was going to do.
Mine worked perfectly, so that's right.
All I did was the clarification was just to broaden the spectrum,
Okay.
you know. So
Alright.
it really just helped. Really. Okay, because Dave went first the last round. Harry, you going first this round?
Okay, I chose Witcher Geralt and Sorceress Yennefer from The Witcher, the franchise. Great couple that have transcended through their ages. Not really. This is just the intro bit, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, it's about a sorceress and a guy who hunts monsters and their relationship throughout the 3 games and the whole, you know, the books and the whole franchise. And it's a very real, down-to-earth relationship, even in the fantasy world that it's set, and it connects a lot with real people.
Sweet.
And I picked Sora and Kairi from Kingdom Hearts franchise because all it is basically true love with Disney and how that transcends and how their whole journey and struggle goes towards together. And there's an awkward triangle, which if we're talking true love, there's always an awkward love triangle.
David?
I chose Vincent and Catherine from the game Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah. My other romance is like, I think it's the most realistic, down to earth romance. Like, we're 5 years into this relationship as we enter the game, and it's about the trials of monogamy and infidelity. And like, yeah, it's like it's not the most romantic love story, like you know, say the princess blah 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 stuff and all that. But like, I think it's the more realistic, down to earth representation of true romance.
Awesome.
Okay, I guess I'll start then.
Points?
Sorry.
I don't need to introduce it, but rebuttal.
No, rebuttal.
Tell us.
Okay, it's funny you said the awkward love triangle, because in Geralt and Yennefer's relationship, it's very real because throughout their time together, there was a few years where Geralt lost his memory. And in that time, he got with another sorceress girl called Triss in the series, and they became very in love and that, and so on and so forth. Eventually, Geralt gets his memory back, and then he remembers Yennefer, his previous lover, and the girl he still loves. And there's that very hard decision, like, do I stay with Yen? Do I go with Triss? And all in all, in the 3rd game, you can decide which one you want to do. You can decide to have them both, if you want. But yeah, it just kind of puts that realistic kind of, like, Yen brings it up a lot. If you choose Yennefer, she still brings up that you were with Triss and stuff. And it's kind of that little nagging arguments now and again, like, you did this to wrong me, and it keeps coming up. But they manage to pull through it because they do truly love each other. What you said, 5 years into the relationship, Geralt and Yennefer have been together for 20 years. So, and their spark's still there. They're still madly in love. They still are very sexually attracted to each other. They're still very flirtatious. So yeah, they're still very flirtatious, and they're both sterile in this infertile in this universe. Yeah, sorceresses can't have children, either can witches because of the magic processes they go through.
I think all 3 of our games all have a sort of love triangle. You know, protagonists like you, Yennefer and Trisha or whatever, and Sora, Riku, and they've got 2 Catherines and a Vincent.
Yeah, there you go. But not so much with you, but with your point, it's not that lovey-dovey, over-the-hills romance between them. You know, there are many...
I think it's a childhood
yeah,
friendship.
There's many real-life problems, like I said, you know, the cheating, the distrust. There's also that slight grudges against certain decisions you make through the game, like you won't fully agree. Yeah, I got more points. but you should talk for a while.
As soon as you pick one up, Ed?
My only thing with yours, because I don't know what that is, besides seeing you talk about it all the time on Facebook, is like you said, to his point, it's the so many years and stuff like that. Like, it's quality, not quantity. So even though he's
And that's in an immortal fantasy world too. 25
Exactly
years
right.
is...
But it's
Yeah,
not an
so-
immortal fantasy world.
I don't know.
Well, but still, for some point, it's the
They're
quality,
not
not quantity.
Yeah.
So even though, like, for mine, they don't have, well, it's most of their lives.
Yeah.
It's not a big lifespan, like in terms of yours is like 3 games, mine's is 2 games, but it's still the quality. Now, if these 2 characters, even when now yours forgot your other one, mine didn't forget, when they had no souls, their 2 souls actually still got together. So
Okay,
even
on
in a
that
different
note-
one,
On that note, he got sorcery cast on him to lose his memory.
Excuse
From some of the greatest mages in the game, which are the Wild Hunt mages.
but my characters can go through
Anyway,
every
nothing
single
says true love like a
franchise.
mage wiping your memory.
Exactly right. Even after retaining his memory, because he was searching for it, because he knew this Jennifer person, and he just had to find out why. He found her. It took him 6+ months to track her down. That was him again in this barren fantasy world where you can't just ring this person up or rah rah rah. He travelled the lands looking for this girl, and she was in a different castle, was she? No.
Story of my life.
You know, he showed his commitment to her by trying to find her, tracking her down against all odds, and she does it in her own ways to him as well. Like, she purposely makes herself look like the bad guy when they both get into a bad situation to take the blunt off Geralt, the main protagonist. So she outcasts herself from people so they don't treat Geralt that way, because in this world, witches are really treated like freaks and not very well. On top of that, there's just so many.
But let's get back to reality for a
So
second.
many potatoes in the game that point out that their love is still just
getting out of hand.
blooming and blossoming even after 20 years.
I'm sure in that universe I can have just a more romantic love style with some simple potion on something.
Your
like
game
that.
is about a guy dreaming.
No. Okay, this is about a 32-year-old
demon.
This is about a 32-year-old office worker, right? Who's in the middle of a 5-year relationship. He doesn't know where he's going in life or the relationship. She's pressuring him to get married and stuff, and all. He's feel the pressure, and that's when he gets the temptation of infidelity. Something we've all had to deal with. Something that all characters have to deal with.
Yourself.
And it's based, that ring's gone. And it's just like the trials and tribulations he goes through, and the character selection on their choice, on their actual, their romance is dictated on your morality choices. As you see love, how you would make decisions in your own love life, and how you interact with other people, and even your flirtation through texting and stuff and all. That's something we all relate to, and it's a great romance. And there's 8 different endings of whether you end up with the temptress, the succubus, if you end up with having a love interest with the girl, or you break your bounds from both relationships. You realise that you can live your life and love yourself.
But the question is, best romantic couple. Where is the romance in any of that?
Where's
a
that?
guy wants to cheat on his girlfriend he's been faithful for 5 years because he's getting a bit bored.
Romance,
20 years together, still very in love.
Romance isn't swept off your feet like, no, romance. True romance
Romance is thinking about
trials
cheating
and
on
passion.
your
And,
partner.
you work hard to work that relationship. You've been tempted for 5 years, but you realise he wanted to propose to her, but he also feels pressured because he's just a 32-year-old guy, and going through that, the expectations of their parents and stuff and all that, and then dealing when he gets caught cheating and stuff and all that, and then from what you've chosen, how you've been able to respond, that will make that romance grow.
I'm sorry, I'm not really, but I'm sorry. You'll sound like every other goddamn movie ever with some sort of action thrown into it. It really does. There's not true romance, it's just some person's life. There's 20,000 other people in the world that do the exact same thing. That's not true, it's some sort of romance for that little bit at the start, and then it's just normal life afterwards.
Okay,
I'm sure the game's great though.
The romance is what you make it in that game. It's very interactive and stuff. It's sort of like a film. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's like an interactive film and stuff and all that, with a puzzle gameplay aspect to it and stuff. It's very Japanese, but it's like the ultimate date simulator taken to that next level.
Okay, I just want to mention, your game is childhood friendship to dreamy person.
True love.
Yours is a romance to me isn't a guy thinking about cheating on his partner. That's not romance. And I just want to elaborate for this.
I've done my point.
I think you've elaborated quite
Into
enough.
my game.
Geralt spent so much time searching for Yennefer because he loves her. After 20 years, he still has that mindset that I need to find this girl. She's my soulmate. I want to be with her. Rah, rah, rah.
My guy had to escape hell, literally, to
that my
climb a
point now?
never growing tower.
Okay, guys, we're gonna have to like keep it going.
Yeah.
So, Edward.
Fine.
1 minute. So, okay, yeah, mine is Disney, because that's the franchise, but Disney has romance in every single movie. These characters meet all these characters, like in all the different franchise worlds that you travel to, and it's still all about the true love. My triangle is they started as kids, and us as nerds or whatever you want to call us, have the best friend, and our thing is always like you want to date your best friend if they're into the same world as you most of the time, generally. So to see that, you know, you're the nerdy guy and she didn't go with Riku, she went with him, and even when they did not know each other, because whatever magic excuse you want to use, when Sora wasn't Sora and he was Roxas and their souls, they still managed to find each other. So that's true romance, and they still had to go through all the drama of finding each other. So because it's a video game, you still have to try and get to that actual person, but mine's not like Princess in Another Castle, she fights her own battle as well.
Yeah.
But out of everyone else, like she's a princess still, but you know, he's still the underdog, which for a game, I don't know, if you can go through all that and still find true love without your soul and then with your soul, and you're going through Disney, like the most romantic of everything, how could you not? How could that not be romantic?
Okay,
Go.
sweet. Quickly wrap it up. Points for a really.
That was wrap up, I thought.
Yeah, yes, just a final statement. And
Yeah,
then
we're good.
Okay, final statement. Go.
Okay, a relationship that's been held together for 20 years between two characters that obviously love each other. They, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they give up things for each other, they make sacrifices, their spark's still there, they have real life problems that they overcome as a couple. They've made a life for themselves in this crappy world together, and as 20 years span, I think it's the best romance out of the lot.
Edward.
True love. True love is the best thing, to date your best friend and go through everything that you have to go through, regardless, because it's a video game, not real life. I don't want real life and romance, I want my video game romance. You know, there's not much more you can ask for Disney and trying to fight for the one that you love, and then they fight for you at the same time. It's the best 50-50 romance you could have.
Every one of the games has that.
Vincent and the Catherines, like one of the best modern day contemporary romance, like a very mature adult theme in a video game, and like, you know, real just contemplating like what people have to go through a relationship and discovering true romance, dealing with true romance. Not
Yeah,
this
right.
idealistic romantic Valentine's rubbish.
Okay. Okay. That was very intense. Yeah, you all picked very, very broad, different points of what your ideals of romance is, which is great. You know. Okay. Dave, you picked the most realistic romance, where it's everyday. Like, people go through these things every day. You can see yourself in these characters. You know. Especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, you can see the troubles.
Especially for an alcoholic who works at an office.
There you go. Harry, it seems that when you explained it, your romance was it survived through time. You know, these people will do anything for each other. It's been, what, 20 years you said?
20 plus.
20 plus years, and you know...
In
it's,
elf years or normal humans?
No, they're not immortal characters, Dave.
How much is that in game time?
The Witcher is a very realistic world. Even though it is fantasy, there is realism.
It's a very
to it.
dark, gritty.
It's a very dark, gritty,
fantasy
like
world.
Game of Thrones-ish,
Yeah.
I'd say. And Edward...
I have been meaning to play that game. The more you post about it, I'm like, I really gotta get into that.
Edward, Kingdom Hearts, you know, standard Disney, you know, you get to see the people, you get to root for your main character, you get to see the two people get together in the end. Oh god, this is so hard. This is really
It's
hard.
not like you have to pick
On the
it.
arguments made, not your personal preference.
I know, and the arguments are really good. I am gonna have to give it to Edward though. I know, it's hard.
Come on, he didn't even believe in himself. He reacted.
Okay.
No, I just... Anyway,
Okay,
I'll take it.
The thing with it is that, okay, Dave argued a very realistic relationship, but you can go through realistic games all the time. He argued the point that you get to see that in movies, you get to see that in film.
That was good.
Every single Disney movie.
I know, but
Every
In game
single
form,
Disney
because the game
movie.
question was a video game question.
Story-wise, it was a mess as well.
it was a very...
Hey, I didn't even get a point today, so I'm happy now. I'm done. My day's done.
Okay, so are we just... Alright, round 3, gents. We all love anime. Anime is a very big part of pop culture. And I personally think that some of the best anime came from the period from 1990 to 1999, which is the 90s. So the question is, though, what is the
Webster
best
Dictionaries defines the 90s.
What is the best 90s anime? And we will start with you, Edwin.
Cool. So as soon as you say 90s, you have to think Pokemon. It is the longest running show. It is the best show. It is what makes children pick between three small little things that has been redubbed and remastered and become such a meme to pop culture still. It is still relevant because it keeps going, the show, and it's all its movies. It will never die down as far as I'm concerned. And, I mean, it's the 90s. Like, every kid had it. Even if you wanted just Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, you had both for no good goddamn reason. But you still had to have it. You had to go through the journey and waste a lot of batteries to get through it because it's what brought normal people into the nerd culture.
Okay.
I chose more serious contemporary anime. I chose Cowboy Bebop. I think as 1998, it pretty much is probably one of the greatest mediums to get people in anime. It was responsible for a lot of people getting into anime in the late 90s and moving into the 2000s. It's got everything: comedy, film noir, romance, just great characters. The music, it's fantastic, and I think it's just it's ageless and part a 90s capsule at the same time of beautiful western / cyberpunk space cowboys.
That's the cyberpunk, didn't you?
I chose Dragon Ball Z because, much like what you said, it's still very, very relevant, and I am debating that it's more successful and popular than Pokemon, because I personally know a lot more people who like Dragon Ball Z more than Pokemon. On top of what are you giggling at?
It's quite funny, isn't it?
With Cowboy Bebop, I find it's very. Oh wait, this is an argument, isn't it?
No,
Anyways, it's such a broad universe, multiple various characters, unique that people care about and love, and it's a journey and shit.
Yeah, great. Arguments?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My movie didn't suck.
That's a strong argument.
Let's restart it, man.
No, we don't.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Edwin.
Yeah?
Rebuttal.
My
Yeah.
movie didn't suck. All my Pokemon movies didn't suck. Your Dragon Ball Z movie, woo.
The
I'll give you
animated
points.
Dragon
Yes,
Ball
it
Z
is
movies.
very 90s. Right, I'll give it that.
Animated Dragon Ball Z movies more popular than Pokemon movies.
Well, mine's still going, and no, because
So
you're
Dragon
trained
Ball Z-
card. Because if you want to get
Dragon
more
Ball
popular,
Z successfully campaigned for a new series, and they're making a new.
yeah,
Dragon
you
Ball
had
Z
to campaign. Ours is just good.
Everybody's
Ours is a
sick of
moneymaker.
Pokemon.
And your trading
Everybody
card
is
game
sick.
ended in the
Everybody
90s.
is sick
Mine
of
still
Pokemon.
continued, and only now yours is coming back
Sick
again.
of
It's
Pokemon.
campaign.
One perfect movie
Yeah.
because the fans demanded it because they were too much in love with the characters.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Done.
See, and even if you go back to Pokemon, everyone I know that went and saw the first Pokemon movie still has the Pokemon card that you got when you saw that movie. Ours, even though it was 90s based, it still stayed with you forever. Yours, I think, was a little bit too before 90s. I don't think everyone as a world culture was ready. Yours was good, but 10 episodes to do one punch?
Okay,
Like, come
no, I've got
on.
something to that. They made the Class series, which is the same thing. It's just cut out all that needless
So you had
stuff.
to redo your
And
series.
even
So you admit they had to do that? They had to cut it that
And
needless
I
stuff.
personally liked the one where you had to wait episodes because it built up suspense, and then when the fight scenes actually did happen, for me personally, that was some of the most intense, awesome fight
Last
scenes of
time on Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Okay,
So your journey. This is the last
I can't remember anybody talking about Pokemon series since the first season. So many people. Original, fuck the rest.
That's why it's still coming out with all the new DSs. When you went on a Pokemon journey,
This isn't
you
about
were the
the games.
trainer. Yes, no. This is the
about
whole
the
world.
anime.
The whole world. You went
People
on
cared
that
about
journey.
your
When
first
he had to
season.
get rid of a Pokemon,
Your first
you
season.
felt that emotion as that
Your
young little
first-
child.
What
Guy
do
or
you mean
girl,
you had to
doesn't
get rid
matter.
of a Pokemon?
It's the
Okay, guys, the
anime.
We have to keep it going. So
Yeah.
Yours,
I have nothing to yours.
yours continues is a game. The game's continuing to a very successful
No,
anime.
the
game's not successful.
Mine is a self-contained anime. There was no manga before. The anime came first and was so popular they made a manga. And it's 26 episodes. Yours is sagas. Just
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful long sagas. Mine is just 26 of the encapsulated where people can just get in, discover anime, love anime. A lot of anime directors put a lot of love and credit to Cowboy Bebop, the music, the style, and the character growth. You grow with these characters. They're all isolated and lonely and stuff and all that, and just how they interact and stuff. And the audience grows with them and stuff and all that. You can go into all the different details about all the different characters. But again, I just think as an anime, it's your animes is just it's Japanimation, it's Jam, but it's always this kid before school, kids morning stuff, anime.
Well, that's not true because there's still a lot of older people who are giant fans of
Oh yes, yeah.
And not just that, it is the whole before school cartoon and stuff, but the characters are very deep in it. Like, there's so much emotion in there. There's comedy stuff, there's growth, there's motivation, there's overcoming things. Like, Goku overcomes every enemy throughout the saga, or usually. You know, you got spite and stuff from Vegeta, who, you know, you got all these different emotional range from each individual character, which brings a lot of depth to it, and you can feel for each one of them. Along with that, like, Cowboy Bebop's great. Don't get me wrong, I do love Cowboy Bebop.
It was his first choice, by the way?
No, it wasn't, because I knew he was picking it.
Oh,
Cowboy Bebop is great, it is, but anime-wise, it's not as relevant these days as Dragon Ball Z. Like, everybody... Goku is the Superman of anime. Everybody knows who Goku is.
I'm not going for this Goku Superman fight.
No, I'm not saying the
Shit.
fight. I'm saying he's the Superman. Like, everybody knows Superman as a comic character. Everybody knows Goku as an anime character.
Everyone knows Pikachu.
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows Pikachu.
Okay, in the series terms, the Dragon Ball Z series is a lot more successful, like, as a whole, than the Pokemon series as a whole. People lost interest after each season.
That's why I kept going. We didn't have to re-campaign? Really? Come on.
Who watches it these days?
Everyone!
Nobody. I don't know a single person. I know when the new Dragon Ball Z movie came out. When the new Dragon Ball Z movie came out, that's all that was on my Facebook for days.
We have different Facebooks.
When they announced that they're going to release a new season, that was all that was on my Facebook for days. I can't remember the last time I saw anybody talk about Pokemon except you now and Tao and my friend.
No, people do talk about Pokemon, but I think it's about the games. I think it's about the games.
The games are great,
Yeah.
but the anime isn't as successful and relevant as
But see, I must admit, I'm going to agree with one of your points here because I can't not. Yours is, when I watch that, I do feel like that is anime. Even to our shows, yours is, like, you've got that feel that it's still bright and colourful and stuff, but it's got that rawness to it, which I think anime brings as a culture itself. It brings that realistic to it, so you do watch that. It's still cartoon, but it's more realistic cartoon. And
But you'll see introducing like lovely cartoons and stuff like that, little cuteness and stuff. That's anime
like,
as well, and that's
you
what
know,
a lot of people do.
middle
Especially in
aged.
a child.
Cowboy Bebop is great for that niche. It's that gritty, you know, the bounty hunters trying to do their thing, you know, over and over. I'm arguing, man.
I know you're arguing. I'm just telling you to make sure he finishes with your argument.
Whereas Dragon Ball Z brings a lot more variety. You know, it's got everything. I even got a rip down here. It's got different things, you know, from fighting to romance to family relationships to growing up, you know, with the characters. School, even school is in there.
I have all of that, except they don't have long
Emotional
hair.
No, you don't really. The only thing you really grow with is their personal relationships. But apart from that,
But what is love? Lady, don't hurt me.
This isn't about love.
No more.
okay, guys, we're going to have to cut you guys off there. Great arguments. Great points. Final thoughts, final arguments? Edward.
So, pretty much all it is 90s is Pokemon. Pokemon is what, for a whole generation of the 90s, they just went through that whole generation with Pokemon as it is, and still to an adult they can still continue it on with it. So if it's going to transcend time and go through emotions on that huge journey that it is, of what the world is of Pokemon, the world as a whole, then it's got to be the best 90s.
My 90s, Cowboy Bebop, anime, you know, the music, the story, the characters, the encapsulated, like, love that you can get from that anime without investing yourself too much. You know, like, it pretty much is an opening door straight into getting into other anime. And there's also the other levels of existentialism and stuff that it goes into, but pretty much it's just the highest quality of anime you'll get all around in all genres.
Okay, yeah, Cowboy Bebop is a great anime, and it is actually, you know, critically acclaimed, so you can't argue that. But I think Dragon Ball Z is better because the broadness of it and how it brings people interested into it. And like I said, just the range of different emotions and journeys you go on. And just similar to Pokemon, the anime, as I said, but I think as it went on, Dragon Ball Z stayed successful, whereas Pokemon started peaking off. And like I said, today it's still relevant, people are still hardcore into it. It's got a much bigger fan base than Cowboy Bebop, although Cowboy Bebop is great. I just feel Dragon Ball Z is a more broad anime which drags people in, sucks people in from all ages, and it's timeless. It's timeless.
Speaking of time,
Yeah.
Great, good points. Okay, amazing points, by the way, all of you. Dave, I like how you spoke about how great the anime is in the sense that it is near perfection. How, 26 episodes, very short, but each episode contributes to the story.
Standalone and an overarching arc as well.
There are a lot of stories that come into Cowboy Bebop and how they all mesh together.
Anime in general.
Yes. I should have started with you. Harry, Dragon Ball Z, I like how you you hit for the aspect that it has affected a whole generation. How many people do watch it. How it's kept its own throughout the whole timeline.
Yeah.
And the fact that people wanted another series, they petitioned for
Yeah,
it, and they got it because of the fan support. Edward, I like how you argued the point that Pokemon also is a generational thing. How people will watch it from when they are kids and how they grow through it. How the seasons didn't have to come back because they just kept going with the series. They could come up with new Pokemon, but
Didn't it usually like Pokemon
I think yours embodies the
from like
90s the
7
best,
to
I think.
7:30, and then 7:30 was like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Then Cowboy Bebop should have come on at 8.
And that was on SBS.
Yeah.
all great animes. But really, when I think about it, I really have to give it to Dragon Ball Z. Okay, Cowboy Bebop was
I'm
great.
sick of this tiebreaker bullshit.
I know, it's horrible.
He didn't scratch up that paper.
He didn't scratch it up. Cowboy Bebop was great, but
I had no negative points against mine. Come on.
I know, but
I know.
as an anime in the 90s, because Cowboy Bebop is great to pop culture fans, to everyone who loves getting into the nerd thing. But as from a casual perspective, people just watch TV. No one really knows what Cowboy Bebop is.
Yeah, you're right.
It's an anime.
That's one thing
Yeah.
Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z when I went to pick the topic. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's all I think
So
of
glad you
now
didn't
is-
pick Dragon Ball Z.
Pokemon was
That would have been interesting. We'll swap next time.
I just want to give an honorable mention to Neon Genesis.
yes. Neon Genesis.
But who's gonna argue that mindfuck?
Pokemon was great. Although you did try and argue the games instead of the anime itself.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had to remake it.
Because it's better than the show with the games.
There you go. But when Harry started speaking about how the series has kept its strong suit, how it stayed good during all the years, during the whole timeline, it really was.
So that happens
a
now.
winner.
Tiebreaker.
Oh, it's
So we seem to have another tiebreak here. So all three of you go into the speed round. How the speed round is going to work is that I'm going to ask 5 questions. Each question I ask, you'll have to think of an answer. You can't interrupt each other. You have round about 15 seconds to make your statement. And if 2 people say the same thing, the person who says it first gets to go first. All right. So we'll play the rules.
Yes.
Okay. Question 1. Most practical video game vehicle.
Warthog, Halo.
A vehicle.
practical.
Getaway car. double
Chocobo.
Still counts. Okay. What did you say?
Getaway car. 007.
All right. Dave.
Chocobo, like, you have different variations of the animals, like, across land, sea, mountains, and the breeding game stuff are practical, and it's the best way to traverse the world in pretty much all the different Final Fantasy iterations.
Okay, a Warthog because practical is off-road vehicle, all terrain. It's armoured, it's heavy, it's got mounted weaponry if you're in that scenario. If not, it's just an all-around great vehicle, especially if something falls from the sky, hits the roof, bounces off. Chocobo's no, it's not going to happen.
Getaway car 007. You need a getaway car at the end of most missions anyway, and it comes with all your gadgets that you need for every situation that you can ever think of.
Cool. I'm gonna have to give it to the Warthog because, once again, indestructible vehicle.
I can drive over rocks.
You drive over shit. Chocobo was great, and so was the getaway car.
You don't have to tell us why.
Okay,
just tell him why he won.
Question 2. Most useful Batman gadget.
Batmobile.
Battery. So you're out.
Bat computer. No, sorry, Bat cave.
Gadgets.
Gadgets,
It's
right.
gadgets. That's
geez,
locations.
what gadgets does he have? Battering.
You said better.
God damn it!
That shows how a successful man is, right?
Bat belt.
Bat belt.
Utility belt. Yeah.
Utility belt. Okay, Dave.
Yeah, Batmobile obviously is smallest, it's a vehicle, it's iconic, it gets them everywhere. It's linked to the Bat computer, it has its own batarangs, it can be used for everything and everyone in all his missions, and it's the fucking Batmobile.
I hate you already. Not sure. I went first. Batarang because it's the Batarang, it's the coolest thing to throw around. You throw 6 around, you pretend it's the Batarang, it's the most pop culture thing that you'd have to have with any Batman suit ever.
Okay, did you say most practical?
Most useful.
Most useful. His utility belt because that legit gets him out of any situation ever.
With his batarang in it and his
Yeah,
remote to the Batmobile.
Everything in it. It's his most useful device. Without it, he wouldn't have any of those gadgets.
Shit, that's hard. Gonna have to give it to David, Batmobile.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's got everything that
You took it out.
we're gonna
Yeah.
This is another vehicle question, Pat.
I was reaching for the.
I know, like, my name's like the most vehicle is like a horse. Does it count?
It's a hard question. I don't know if I want to go with this
Speed.
Okay, the question number 3. Worst one-liner in a movie.
Worst.
The Room.
What's the line?
The line is at the end where Mark, the friend, says, "You can fall off the face of the earth. That's a promise." It doesn't make sense.
Darth Vader's no in Revenge of the Sith.
No!
That was just terrible one-liner. It just fucking just made everyone
You
cringe
said
at that
worst,
cinema.
right?
Yes.
At least it made sense.
In a horrible, dramatic George Lucas fucked this up even more way.
Guys!
I don't know. Get to the chopper.
Why? It's a great line.
Why is yours bad? I know, because it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And people that try to do it make it more stupid, and to me it kills the line now. So to me it's dead. It was good back then, now it's dead. So now it's horrible.
Alright, because they both of them still gave context to what was going on. Get to the chopper, you know, get to the goddamn chopper, no, give emphasis, room, but didn't even make any sense.
One-liner from The Room is
Lisa! I did not.
Number 4, best Christopher Nolan movie.
Well, this is just going to be...
Memento.
The one with the Joker in it.
Dark Knight.
That's the one, Dark Knight. Right? Returns. Right?
Dark Knight. Just the
Just
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Sorry, I get confused.
I was just going to the third one.
Pick the third one.
The third Batman one.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
Okay, you went first.
These two have an established franchise. Nolan, this movie put him on the map as a serious director, and like it's still interpreted as today by studies, just like how he shot reverse angle and reverse forward and stuff with black and white and color and stuff and all that. It's just a very good psychological drama film, and it put Guy Pearce on the map.
Yes.
Yeah, Dark Knight, because it's probably his most popular movie and well known, if I do say so myself.
What about Inception?
I reckon it'd be more popular than Inception. It's also the best one, like, out of broad opinion, it's the best one out of the franchise. And yeah, like, just the acting performances and how they brought the characters to life is pretty fucking cool.
It's alive. It kind of killed you. The third one, just because I couldn't think of any others, but I mean, it's the third installment of the franchise. You've got the most comic, like yours has a good comic villain, but the whole breaking of the bat, like I don't know, that the fact that something so detailed in a comic was put into film in a good way for that part. And you know, I like the whole war aspect in any film, so to have a war aspect, the whole Gotham running thing, it just, I don't know, to me it was just pretty out there.
That's why Rises is my favourite in that franchise.
Yeah.
Me too, actually.
But that wasn't the question.
Yeah.
Best Christopher Nolan movie goes to David because Memento is the different. It's the most Nolan out of all of them. Batman, you had to like pick off the comic, the source material, but Memento was great. Going into the fifth and final question, Dave is on 3, Harry is on 3, and Edward is on 1. Unfortunately, the last question you can't win.
That's right, I had the best point of view.
He can go out on a high, though.
You can go out high. You can win this. Although
He could force us into a tiebreaker.
you can force me if you get this question right, them two have to go into a tiebreaker. So the final question is best DC sidekick.
Dick Grayson.
Shit.
Aqualad.
Arsenal.
Okay, Ed.
I mean, he went first.
So you went first. Go.
I'm going first?
Yes.
Okay. Dick Grayson, because he's just the OG sidekick who has done everything probably both of these characters have done, like Aqualad with the Young Justice and that, Teen Titans, same with Arsenal, you know, member of the
Brotherhood.
Yeah, you know,
Outlaws.
Sorry, Dick Grayson's done that. He's led the Teen Titans. He became his own full-fledged superhero who can go on par as his own standalone hero after, you know, training with Batman and everything. So he's the only sidekick to really ever reach that spotlight, and that's why he was the best.
Edward.
Aqualad, because he has to go through so much more than I think the other characters. So as a sidekick, he's trying to go out of Aqualad's spotlight. Plus, it's the sea versus ocean thing. Plus, yes, he also did run the Young Justice as well alongside him. So I mean, as a character itself, he had his own thing. He broke out from his Aqualad kind of Aqua status, and just went through on a journey a lot more than what you guys did.
Arsenal, he had more character development. You know, living in the shadow as the Red Arrow from the Green Arrow, and like becoming Arsenal, becoming more of a badass, and like dealing with his identity and stuff, and like he become a bit of an outlaw, and then joined the Outlaws with Jason Todd and stuff. And he hooked up with Starfire, so win.
Who didn't?
That's true.
It's only Robin, technically.
I'm gonna have to give it to Harry. So therefore, Harry wins. Great points.
He had Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson was a really.
Can never lose a Dick.
No, can't lose.
Everybody loved Dick. So.
I'd like to thank the contestants, Harry, Dave, and our special guest, Edward. Make sure to check out his stuff, which is I'm repeating myself as a freaking nerd.
Freaking geeks.
Freaking geek. I think
And it'll be on YouTube soon.
it'll be on YouTube soon. We'll throw a link down below.
Like pop culture stuff, watch it.
Watch it. Watch us if you like us. We have another Nerd Rumble video, and go see that. But I had fun. You guys had fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
good.
good.
Yeah, good battle, good spirited. I like it.
I won.
I got a point. I'm happy with that. As the first time, like I got a point. I'm good.
So we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right.